Half-Life is back. After a decade of silence, Half-Life has announced. Actually, the announcement comes on Thursday. They're going to give all the details. But Half-Life is back. It's coming out for VR in early 2020. And I never thought I was going to... I think I'm setting up a VR room. Apparently, Valve has created this crazy VR technology where your fingers track in the game and you're grabbing shit.
Oh my
It's
God.
like so realistic. This is their first flagship VR game. I've played all the Valve games in the current VR headset for... What's the name of Steam's current VR headset?
They just released it, right?
The one that we have at home?
Yeah, the one we have at home.
Was it made
got
by-
it for us.
Why am I blanking? It's something
Are you
with a
talking
V?
about The Vive?
The Vive.
Vive, yeah. The Vive is amazing. I've played all of VR Valve's games on Vive, and they're like mind-blowing, amazing. And I was like, these guys are working on something crazy. I know it. I think I even said on the show, I think Half-Life 3 is going to be a VR game. It's not Half-Life 3.
I think you did say that at some point.
I think I said it. Go back into the log.
So wait, so it's not 3.
It's Half-Life Alyx, which is another character in the Half-Life series.
So it's a new series?
Well, I think what it is it's basically a prequel to Half-Life 2, which takes place
Better
with
Call
Alyx before the events of Half-Life 2 took place. But, oh, dude, that's going to be so sick. You can track your fingers, bro.
Yeah, I've not had that in a home thing, but you know, I have done that VR stuff where it tracks your fingers at that. You know what it's called, like the Void or something.
Mm.
It's at like a mall or something. It's like a thing you go to, and you go through like a whole maze and everything.
So it's a whole new.
It's new shit.
It's a new
technology.
New one that you would have to buy. Like the Vive is not.
I think it's not Vive. It's a big investment. It's super expensive. I read it costs $1,000 just for the VR pieces, and then I think it probably plugs into the computer on top of it. It's a very expensive.
And the whole thing is so expensive because you gotta have a good computer.
You need an
run
awesome
it,
gaming computer,
and you need like your empty room.
You need exactly. You have to basically be rich.
Like you need
have a $3,000 gaming
to play that.
Exactly. It's pretty outrageous. But somehow I'm sure that everyone's gonna buy it because it's Half-Life. You can't not buy it. And
I'm hoping that they accounted for that, and you like, even though it's designed for that, you'll hopefully be able to play it without VR too. But maybe not. I don't know.
Well, here's what I think the future of VR
I feel like they have to, no?
I don't think that you should need to stand up and walk around. That's just outrageous, and it's so limiting. What I think VR needs to be, and what I think they might be doing, is that you can just sit in your seat with the VR set. You use your hands to control the game. You can turn, right, because it's wireless. You can turn and shit like that in your chair. But forcing someone, first of all, to have a whole empty room is out.
No? Sitting and playing.
Well, I don't think it's optimized for that. Most games are optimized for standing and walking around. And I think the whole standing and walking around thing is kind of a gimmick anyway, if I'm being honest.
Because everyone's lazy.
You don't need that to be immersed. So what I think is going to happen is that this game's going to be played sitting down.
And then you don't need the whole room.
You don't need a whole room. You probably hold something in your hand that's a controller, that controls like directional and shit like that.
Haven't we tried something like that at Justin's?
I mean, all the VR I tried in the Vive is amazing.
Sony or something, that it's just a set that you sit, you don't need to stand.
the PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I think it'll be like that.
Okay.
Half-Life 3, baby! Let's go!
I'm getting worried about that because I like watching you play.
You can
that
watch.
game.
You set up a second screen, which means you have to be even richer.
But then I don't get to watch it in VR.
We could probably get you VR glasses. That's like the bougiest shit ever.
That's ridiculous.
The dogs, we'll get the dogs VR, Theodore, so we can watch. I agree. That's why I've always thought VR is kind of a gimmick. I just don't see it. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to buy this. I'm going to give it a shot. If they can't do it, nobody can. So let's see what's up.